What's up, everyone? My name is Matthew Dale, here to help you play better, sound great, and understand more. And a little bit of a different topic for today's video. I'm going to talk about my thumb pick. Lately, I've been getting a lot of comments on what's that pick you're using? Are you using the Black Mountain pick or the Herco or yada, yada, yada? What is that thing on your thumb? And it is neither of the above. This is the Fred Kelly Bumblebee Jazz pick. Now, these are by far my favorite pick that I have used in my guitar journey. So what it really is essentially is a Jazz 3 shape attached to this thumb loop. And this does a couple of things for my playing that I'm going to get into, but before that, more important than any technique, more important than any pick, if you really want to improve your guitar playing, nothing beats having a great understanding of the fundamentals of music. And you can get that fundamental understanding of music by downloading my 100% free guide, my Essential Music Theory cheat sheet. I will have the link on the screen and in the description box below. You can click that link and grow your understanding of the fundamentals of music. Now, a little bit of background information, why I play with a thumb pick, why I use this pick in particular. For a long time, I used the Dunlop Green picks. This is probably maybe on the heavier side of medium, but not really a super extra heavy pick or something like that. I use these pretty happily for a long time. In high school, in college, a little bit after college as well. This was kind of like my main pick of choice. If I went back to this style, I'd probably go for something heavier like the blues or the purples. Those are quite a bit heavier, and I've come to develop a liking for a heavier pick in my guitar journey. But also, while I was in college, I had to take, every guitar performance major had to take a couple semesters at least of classical guitar, which, of course, doesn't have any picks associated with it. It's all fingers and bonus points if you use nails, which probably at some point, leave me a comment below. I do play with a little bit of nail on my steel string acoustics and my electric and nylon playing. I like what nails do for my finger style playing as well. If you want to learn more about that, it is something of an archaic concept in this day and age, but if you want to learn more, just let me know in the comments below. So when learning classical guitar, right, all fingers, and you really get to kind of know the approach and the touch that your fingers can have on the guitar, but it's not super usable for all styles of like modern electric playing or anything like that. Now, guys like Mark Knopfler don't use a pick, and they do that sort of thing really, really, really well. But there's a couple of things you really might have a hard time doing if you're not using a pick. Namely stuff like palm mutes and like really fast alternate picking runs. You can kind of get away with palm mutes like that. Now I'm using the back of my nail there, but doing something like a really fast palm mute, you could probably work that up as in your technique. However, that's never really worked for me. I would be using a pick and then doing stuff like that. So after using this pick and then learning more of a classical approach to fingerstyle, and then even after college, I had like a good couple of months where I never even really touched a pick. I just tried to get all of the sounds that I wanted to get out of the guitar just with my fingers, and I think that was a really good training for me, in essence, to kind of ditch the pick and learn something new. But then I really wanted to get some of my pick vocabulary back in my playing, so I started playing more with thumb picks. Now, the thumb pick that everyone typically sees is going to be like this Dunlop. This is a Dunlop medium. I've also used the larges. Just kind of depends on what feels the best on your thumb. But take a look at this. Look how much. I know my camera isn't super in focus. There we go. There's a lot of pick here. So one of the hard things going from fingerstyle, where your thumb is making direct contact with the string, right, to something like this, is I've got a lot pick that keeps me further away from the strings. And then going to something that would be like alternate picking. I've got a lot of pick there that I'm trying to get through the strings. I don't really like that. So what I did for a while is I would get these, I'd buy these, I'd spend time filing down and getting a shape that I liked, and then I would use that pick. And then if I lost that pick, I'd be out of luck. So then after a lot of internet research, I stumbled upon Fred Kelly picks. They have a bunch of different styles of thumb picks as well, namely the slick pick, which is kind of a more ergonomic version of this. They have something called the speed pick, which is kind of interesting. And then they have these lovely, wonderful things, the Bumblebee picks. They make this in a Jazz 3, which I really like with the more aggressive point. This one's a little bit worn down. I like to kind of wear them in a little bit before I switch to a new pick. And they have a teardrop shape that's a little bit more like kind of your regular guitar pick there. These, for me, were like almost an immediate answer. After all of this, playing that I've done with a pick and fingers and a thumb pick, this felt really, really, really good when I went to this style of a pick. I started with the teardrops, and then as I was kind of working more on my alternate picking chops, I went to a Jazz 3, and I really like this a lot more. These make alternate picking more possible with a thumb pick, and then it works really well for my hybrid style. Where I'm using the fingers in chord playing or arpeggio playing. And then I'm kind of using a combination therein. Now, this is just my personal style. I like having these three fingers available. I really don't use much with the pinky. Some people do. A lot of people don't. I'm not a pinky player. But I really like having all three of these digits accessible along with the thumb pick, rather than if I was doing true hybrid picking, where I have a flat pick, I'm supporting it with the first finger and then using the second and third fingers. I like having these three digits, especially where like chord playing is concerned, arpeggios are concerned. And, I've gotten comfortable playing in this style. Now, another benefit to this is if I'm playing these like open voice triads, I'm not using the middle finger. I'm using the first and third finger, and that's a more comfortable spacing than, say, trying to get this out of trying to stretch that second and third finger. So there's a string in between the second and third finger, A string with the pick, second finger on the D, and then the third finger is getting the B string. I don't like that, and generally speaking, where guitar technique is concerned, you want to avoid the Vulcan stretch. That, of course, being where there's more of a gap between the second and third finger. Both for the right hand and the left hand, where those are concerned, you generally want to avoid that type of a stretch. Now, a little bit more about this pick itself. The construction is, it's made out of a material they call Delrin. It's pretty hard. It's not like a poly type hardness. It's probably similar, really similar to like Tortex type material. It has a good sound on the strings, and then it's attached to the loop via this tab in the back. These they're not interchangeable. Don't pull these out. And what the tab does is it gives this a little bit of flex so you can move the pick a little bit in and out, and you can kind of turn this to kind of whatever suits your playing, and then it gives it a little bit of flex up and down, so when you're using it like a pick, it feels a little bit more like a pick. As opposed to having something that's as stiff as a thumb pick, where that would be concerned. Another, that would be kind of like the Herco style, where the thumb loop is molded into the pick shape. I would assume kind of the happy medium on this would be like the Black Mountain pick. I haven't tried a Black Mountain pick because I'm so partial to a smaller pick where so much less pick is coming out from my thumb. It feels a little bit more like my thumb is on the string rather than placing the pick on the string like with something that's a lot longer. The Hercos have a lot of pick distance. The Black Mountains didn't look like they were that bad, so I might be interested to try one of those, but why try one of those when I've already found like the perfect pick for me? This is the one that I love using the most. As well as it being a good picking pick, with it being a Jazz 3 shape, it does the thumb pick stuff well enough for me too. Chet Atkins on a Strandberg. I don't know if that's right or not. And again, more towards my style. I really like the ability and what this pick does for me to, bounce back and forth between, alternate picking and then utilizing the fingers. So go ahead and give these a shot. These are Fred Kelly Bumblebee picks. The one that I use specifically is the Jazz Extra Heavy. Like I said, I really like a really firm pick these days. I have an affiliate link in the description box below if you want to check out that link and check out these picks for yourself. A portion of that purchase will come back to help support this channel. I thank you in advance. Once again, my name is Matthew Dale. I'm here to help you play better, sound great, and understand more, and I'll see you guys on the next one.